Picture a man floating in the center of a void. He is thousands of miles from the nearest coastline, with no radio, no rescue boat, and no shelter. The terror of this environment comes from its total lack of documentation. You are a single, microscopic point on a map that no one is looking at, existing in a space where coordinates feel meaningless. The human brain initially rejects this isolation. It defaults to physical logic, shouting until the throat burns and waving arms at an empty horizon, attempting to force the world to recognize your presence. This initial struggle highlights a deeper crisis: the sudden, absolute disappearance of the civil safety net we rely on every day. This first phase is fueled by a desperate assumption. You act on the belief that a search party must be out there, leading to hours of wasted movement and frantic energy expenditure. As the sun climbs, the cost of that panic becomes visible. The body rapidly drains its fluids and electrolytes, burning through its limited fuel while the temperature rises. Survival soon demands a shift toward cold, efficient energy conservation. Every breath and every movement must be rationed, as even a moment of unnecessary struggle can be fatal. You are forced to confront the ocean's complete indifference. Nature disregards your intelligence, your past achievements, or your life plans. By the end of the first day, the limits of physical strength become clear. Brute force is a finite currency, and out here, you have no way of knowing how much longer you need to buy. When the sun disappears, the environment undergoes a total transformation. The world moves from a place of visual cues to a landscape of complete sensory darkness. Without the horizon to provide a sense of direction, fear takes over. The water turns cold, and the sound of unseen waves becomes a constant, looming weight. In this void, the brain can no longer distract itself. It is trapped with internal thoughts, replaying the odds of survival over and over. This prolonged deprivation triggers the arrival of despair. It acts as a corrosive psychological force, eroding the will to keep the head above water as the hours stretch into what feels like an eternity. Nightfall moves the conflict from the physical to the mental. You are no longer just enduring the cold. You are actively fighting the urge to let the darkness win. This loop defines the survivor's biological trajectory. Isolation triggers panic, accelerating physical exhaustion, funneling the system into despair. Perceiving an absence of rescue, the brain performs a grim calculation. It stops prioritizing survival, issuing a command for the body's systems to wind down. This internal concession often proves more dangerous than the sea itself. The mind can decide the battle is over long before the heart actually stops beating. Survival in this state requires a conscious veto. You have to manually override the brain's own analytical conclusion that hope is gone. In extreme isolation, your own biological surrender represents a much greater danger than the hostile environment surrounding you. To counter this internal shutdown, the mind requires a specific anchor, a reason for existing that exists outside the current moment. Survivors do this through deliberate, ritualistic actions. They speak aloud to the silence, they pray, or focus intensely on a promise made to family back home. This internal purpose serves as a biological fuel. It forces the lungs to breathe and the muscles to move, even when the body's reserves are effectively empty. When every external resource has been stripped away, a clearly defined reason to live is the only thing capable of keeping the human system operational. This mechanic of survival isn't exclusive to the ocean. It mirrors the universal experience of facing situations where you feel completely abandoned by the systems you trust. We all face moments that feel like closed systems, times when there are no easy answers, no comfort, and no obvious way out. Navigating these periods requires us to stop waiting for an external rescue that may never come, and to stop relying on brute force to solve an unsolvable problem. The ultimate survival trait is the choice to hold on for one more unit of time, one more hour, one more day, one more breath. The moment when logic suggests that hope is gone
is precisely when the deliberate choice to manufacture hope becomes your most vital tool.